Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to read the story Who Took My Strawberries? As you can see, there is a farmer who is having a basket full of strawberries. Around him, you can see some animals, and it is looking like summer season. Let's see what's going on inside the story. So, here, once upon a time, deep in the heart of the beautiful Italian countryside, stood a small strawberry farm. It was the end of the long hot summer. As you can see, it is really hot. You can see the shining sun on the countryside was full of activity. You can see the farmer plowing their fields, farmer looking after their animals. The strawberry farmer was very happy as he looked over his own fields, thinking of plentiful harvest. Then he saw some children from the nearby farms playing in his fields whenever they felt hungry. They ate few of the delicious ripe strawberries. The farmer began to feel angry. You can see him. He's looking a little selfish. He doesn't want to share his strawberries. And he was thinking to himself, the children are eating far too many of my strawberries. He said to himself selfishly, those strawberries belong to me. He decided to build a fence around his farm to stop the children getting in. Sure enough, when the fence was in place, the children stopped coming to eat the strawberries, but the birds instead. Now the birds are coming. The fence is not the boundary for the birds. Now, to stop the birds, the greedy farmer did not lose any of his strawberries to the birds. He wanted to keep all of them for himself. So he put a net, you can see the net, over the strawberry fields to stop the birds eating fruit. Now my strawberries are safe from the birds and the children, he thought. That night, after he had gone to bed, the farmer could not put his mind at rest. He was thinking, thieves could sneak in and steal my strawberries by moonlight. As you can see, it was a moonlight night. The farmer lay awake for hours, worrying about his crop. He decided the very next morning he would pick up the ripe fruit from the bushes and take it to the market to sell. You see, it is early morning, the sun is shining, and the farmer is riding towards the marketplace. What is this? Some strawberries are dropping from his cart, and it is all the way, you can see. The way he is choosing to move to the marketplace, he is dropping a lot of strawberries. But does he know that? Bright and early in the next morning, the farmer picked the juicy ripe strawberries and loaded them into his horse cart. He set off through the forest as fast as his horse could take him. Finally, he reached the marketplace. Can you see the marketplace? It's huge. There are guards over the marketplace. There are sellers. And where is the farmer? There are many sellers who are coming. This is the farmer who has also reached the marketplace. By the time farmer reached the market town, the morning sun was shining brightly. Other country folk were also beginning to arrive to sell their goods. The farmer drove his horse and cart through the gateway into the marketplace, and he talked to himself. First, I will find a good spot. My sweet smelling strawberries will sell quickly, every one of them. And then, to his surprise, and people were also astonished. Can you see the people? Aren't they surprised? Yes, they are surprised. But why is he surprised? When the farmer looked into his cart, he had terrible shock. His precious strawberries had disappeared. Almost every one of them. The farmer was horrified and said, "What a catastrophe!" he exclaimed. "Who took my strawberries?" In fact, no one had taken farmer's strawberries. One by one, they had fallen through the hole. You can see the hole now. One by one, they had fallen through the hole at back of his cart. The faster he had urged his horse to run, the faster the strawberries had fallen onto the ground. Now, the dismayed farmer turned his horse and cart around, hurried back along the path through the woods, and he was thinking, "I must find them. I must get my strawberries back." But all along the way, the strawberries had disappeared. Can you see strawberries? There is no strawberries because the animals who must have found the strawberries must have eaten them. Some of his strawberries had been found by a family of hungry foxes. Can you see the fox family? The farmer saw them enjoying the tasty fruit in a nearby tree. A mother bird fed the fresh strawberries to her young ones. The farmer climbed the tree and watched as a little bird ate greedily. Little birds were very hungry, so they ate all the strawberries greedily. Then the farmer walked on sadly. Passing a neighbor's house, he watched a mother. You can see the mother share a plate full of strawberries with her children. They sat around a table and laughed happily as they ate the delicious fruit. Farmer is watching them. Now, farmer was a little sad, but as he walked slowly back to his horse and cart, he thought about the happiness his strawberries had brought to the animals, the birds, and his neighbors. It was lucky for them that there was a hole in my cart. Perhaps it was a good thing after all. Gradually, the farmer began to feel happier about the loss of his strawberries. He realized that he had selfish not to want to share any of them. The next day, farmer saw an unexpected sight in his fields. His neighbors, who had all enjoyed his strawberries the day before, were coming to his house, bringing gifts of foods and herbs in return of the fruit. And they said, "Thank you so much for the strawberries." They all said. The farmer was so surprised that he hardly knew what to say. He found himself inviting all the country folk to his house to share the gifts. So he doesn't want to enjoy all the gifts by himself. So he called all of them to share his gifts. Now you can see they are sitting on the round table. They're having many gifts. There are carrots, there are breads and cakes, there are eggs, there are herbs, there are more fresh strawberries, there are some juice. So now they just don't have one thing, they have a lot of things to share. All the neighbors gathered around his big table. They laid out the different food and sat down together to enjoy the feast. "What a lovely party," said the farmer, feeling happy as he shared more of his freshly picked strawberries. "It's so much fun to share." And they all agreed. So we have discussed this before also, that we enjoy more when we share. So we will discuss few more things. Which season does the story take place in? Was it spring, summer, autumn, or winter? Tell me. Yes, you're right. It is spring. What did the farmer do first to stop the children eating his strawberries? Did he scold them? He picked the berries. He built a fence. He put up a net. What did he do to stop the children? Yes, he built a fence. Very good. Why did the strawberries fall out of the farmer cart? So you have to tell me what is the reason behind the strawberries falling out of the farmer's cart. Because he was driving too fast? Because someone took them? Because there was a hole in the cart? Because the road was bumpy. So the answer is because the road was bumpy. What did the neighbors do to thank the farmer for his strawberries? They brought him gifts of foods and herbs. They brought their friends. They invited him to their homes, or they paid him. The answer is they brought him gifts of foods and herbs. Very good. Now, here is the picture where you have to find the difference between the two pictures. Okay? So, you have to find the difference between the two pictures. So, words and their meanings. The sentences below describe the meaning of 8 words. Can you match them with their meanings? It would be interesting doing this with your parents. Okay, that's it for now. Enjoy your activities. See you soon.